Hello and welcome to Next Matter Tutorials. Today I'm going to walk you through building your first process. We'll go through a number of different features that NextMatter has to offer, including action steps and parallel steps. We'll also go over different deadlines that can be set and conditional steps. The example we'll use is for employee onboarding. You'll go to Create New and then Create a Process. Here we'll title this Employee Onboarding. And then we'll click Create. The first step we'll make is an action step. We'll enter in some basic information for our HR team to fill out. The first action we'll use is a text input short. We'll use this to record basic information like the employee's first and last name. We'll also want to include the email, and then we'll add a new action for a starting date. This is the date input. It looks like I also forgot the employee's birthday, so I'll go ahead and add another date input and move it above the starting date. We'll want to list what department the employee will be starting in. And then we'll need to record who the reporting manager is. For that, we'll go down to User Selection. This is all of the information we're going to need for step 1. For step 2, we'll also want to make an action step. Under this action step, we'll have it triggered dynamically. Dynamic selection is when a user is selected in a previous step that will trigger the step that you're on now. For example, we selected the reporting manager in step 1, who will trigger step 2. The next part of our employee onboarding prep for the reporting manager is to add a deadline. We'll want to make sure that the deadline is set at a reasonable time. Let's say 4 days before, and then we'll go here to starting date. So 4 days before the employee starts, this needs to be completed. To make sure that our reporting manager completes this step on time, we'll set a few reminders. So the first reminder will be triggered 2 days before the deadline. We'll also set a reminder 1 day before the deadline. With 2 reminders, the reporting manager should have it done on time. Next, we'll need to let the reporting manager know what they need to do for the employee onboarding. For that, we'll use an instruction action. We can select step references to have dynamic text input when the reporting manager sees the instructions. For instance, we'll want to refer to the reporting manager by name. For that, we can go down to Reporting Manager, use their full name, but because I want to make it a bit more personal, I'll go to the reporting manager's first name instead. Next, we'll want to let them know who's joining their team. We'll go first name, space, last name, before adding the rest of the message. Now that you've entered all of the information, we'll go ahead and click Save Changes. This message looks a bit messy now, but the reporting manager will be able to see all of the information recorded in Step 1 when they open the process. So now it's time to tell the reporting manager what needs to be prepared in advance. We'll go down to Multiple Value dropdown. We need the multiple value dropdown to be able to select the types of software that the new employee needs before they join. This can be things like email, this can be things like HR tools. It really just depends on what your company needs, which is why for this section, I'm gonna speed it up a bit. These are just a few examples of softwares that you can include in your company's onboarding. In the next section, we'll select the checklist. Under the checklist, we'll let them know that they need to schedule a few different calls. Now that we have Step 2 down, let's go to Step 3. For Step 3, we'll need to create an action step. In this action step, we'll need to let the respective team know that they need to give software access to the new employee. We'll say grant ERP access. I'll give an instruction here just to let them know. We'll keep this as instruction to make it simple. And then we'll add the employee's name. And then we'll say thank you. We'll go ahead and add here that this is from the central team, with the condition that in Step 2 of the multiple value dropdown, the input type was a selected item that contained ERP system, and we'll save. Now that we have everything set up for ERP access, let's just duplicate the step to make it super easy. We can duplicate this step for all 4 software that we need. All we have to do is go here and say ticketing system and change the conditions. We can also change the team if this needs to go to a different team. We can say this should go to the IT team. After that, all we need to do is edit the instructions to match the ticketing system, and we'll be ready to go. I'll take a quick moment to finish duplicating these so we can get to the next part. Now you notice that there might be a small problem. Each one of these steps needs to be completed before the next one is triggered. We can fix this with parallel steps. Under parallel steps, every step can run at the same time. All you need to do is drag the parallel step section to 3, and then add the steps in between. That means all of these steps will run at the same time, and each team will get an email letting them know to grant access to that software if it was selected in Step 2. Now it's time to see how this looks. We'll start by pressing the play button and calling it a test. We'll enter in the basic information for the new employee. You'll see that this is overdue because we set this deadline to be 3 days before the employee starts. You'll also see here that slightly confusing box of text that we made. Sounds a lot easier Hello, Bobby. Jane Doe will be joining the marketing team on Friday, December 9th, 2022. Let's make sure they're welcome by setting everything up in advance. I'll go ahead and select all software systems, and I'll say that I've already scheduled the welcome session and the onboarding mentor. Now each of the teams that we selected in steps 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, and 3.5 have all been notified in their inboxes that they have to grant access to these different softwares. I'll go ahead and take over and show you how it looks. So here you can see, could you please create an email for Jane Doe? Complete. Could you please grant HR system access to Jane Doe? Complete. Could you please grant access to Jane Doe? Complete. And there you have it. The entire process for employee onboarding has been completed. That was an example of a process that can be automated in NextMatter. If you have any other questions about processes or how to set something up, please let us know and we'll make another video. Have a great day.